Hey guys, just letting you know before we get started, I still need top 5 plays for the top 5 plays of the week here on Saturday. So if you're a competitive gamer, you have some sweet plays you want to submit to the channel, go to your inbox, send us a private message with the link of the video in the description, also with your team name and anything you want to include, and I'll try to get those in there. We'll look for the best ones. Also, we are doing the Friday Night Procast tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, show matches, lots of stuff. And we're giving away an Elgato capture device, so you're going to want to not miss that. Let's get into the show. Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Holiday Doc, and this is the OCC Daily News and Talk Show that we're bringing to you each and every single night here on the channel. Glad you could stop by. Tonight was certainly interesting, to say the least. Almost at a point where you wonder why we even support this community any longer. Because there's just so much that goes on and makes you shake your head and stop, and you almost try to self-evaluate why do I put in the effort to do this every day? Why do I come on board and defend these teams or try to talk with these teams? Because it just essentially turns around and bites you in the ass. If I were to compare our community to something in real life, I would have to say it's like middle school. Or junior high if you're in Canada. It's a bunch of grade 6 to grade 8 people hanging out, still being kids. Now, this is not to say everybody, but my God, some days are better than others, and today was not one of those good days. Let's start with what's going on. Online qualifiers don't fucking work. Plain and simple, doesn't work no matter how you do it. Doesn't matter what country you do it from. Over in Europe, they're having massive issues with online qualifiers for the same reasons we're having massive issues over here in North America. Too many kids that think they're internet gangsters go out and buy host booting programs and ruin it for everyone. It's just how it is. You can't do a major game or a major series or a major online event without having some... I gotta choose my words carefully here. Without some little immature kid ruining it for everyone. And that's exactly what it is. It's sad, pathetic, and you should just kill yourself if you have a DOS program. And if you're kicking people offline in online tournaments. It just takes everything to a whole new level and it ruins it for everybody. This is why we can't have nice things. So that being said, that brings us to why we're talking about that in the first place. Tonight was Fariko versus Webb. And they were playing an online qualifier match on the MLG stream when Mir got DOSed out and unfortunately was lagged out of the game. And they led us to believe for quite some time that Fariko and Webb just took the free win and went on with their day. And that was that. People were in an uproar. Even myself, I'm like, this is not what we need to do as a community to move ahead. You can't have people taking free wins because some loser out there has got a DOS program kicking somebody offline. Can't do it. But it turns out that they were pulling one over our head for the betterment of their team and the betterment of our community. Trying to work things together. And for that, Webb, you guys have outdone yourselves and are by far one of the most respected AM teams in my books. Now, if we go take a look at Fariko Parasite's official statement on what happened, he says, once we had lagged out, Karma and myself made a plan. Karma was friends with Ill Skill, so we talked it out. We decided to make it seem like Webb would not replay, so we had a reason to play off stream. So they basically think that somebody in the stream has Mir's IP address somehow. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's finish out as a statement. We waited 10 minutes and tweeted out we lost, so it seems like the match was over. We appeared offline and replayed everything, including the hard point. They ended up beating Webb 2-0 fair and square 4v4. He then goes on, he says, mad respect to Webb for going along with the plan. Please apologize to them, they helped us out big time, and are not to be blamed for anything as it was all part of the plan. They are actually a great team who's actually surprised us. Sorry for deceiving you all, but what it has come down to dealing with such a delicate situation. Fariko is now top 12 and officially in the championship bracket for MLG Dallas. Good games to Webb, and please apologize to them. We have nothing but respect. So that was Parasite's official statement. And Webb took a huge hit on the chin all night long from everybody on Twitter for not replaying the game, or essentially what we all thought that they weren't going to replay the game, but they ended up having to. Now, isn't it freaking absolutely sad and pathetic that we have to make up stories online to get a full game in because some nerd is in his parents' basement or parents' room hooking up a $5 DOS program so he can kick somebody offline, and he's sitting there chuckling like, oh my god, look what I just did. You just want to throttle these kids and smash them. Like, we had two great teams that were going to be matched up tonight, and we couldn't even watch it because of immature kids in this community. And it's just, I could go on forever cussing those people out, but you got to give big props to Webb. You know, they went along with it, and they took the brunt of the Twitter hate for quite some time, and it was just huge. And, you know, there's a lot that went wrong with the online qualifiers. Best of 3, whoever thought of that idea, I don't know what was going through their heads, but we've never had a tournament ever worth this kind of money, best of 3. Why would we start now? Doesn't make sense to me. So best of 3s was the worst idea ever. Second worst idea ever was to do an online qualifier that is worth this much. How could we have fixed it? Well, attacking anybody on Twitter solves nothing. Going after MLG and be like, you guys are the biggest whatever is not going to help the situation. Going after Puckett is not going to help the situation, so stop it. Stop. Going after Sundance is not going to help the situation, so stop. What do we have to do? We have to voice our opinion in a matter that is professional and that will reach out to people that are actually making the decisions. None of the people I mentioned previous have anything to do with how this tournament was run. Had nothing to do with it. They are simply the focal point of everybody's hate. So we need to address the situation much more delicately. You need to obviously be a lot nicer with your tweets and come to some sort of agreement that online just doesn't work. So when you guys go to Dallas, approach the people in power and explain to them that this is not going to work. Now, what are some other problems that we're going to run into? Well, when these guys go to the MLG Dallas major tournament, for the first 3 rounds, they're going to be playing on split screen, best of 3. Just take a moment, absorb that. Just take it all in. Pro teams, open bracket, stream views, split screen, no stream. Makes sense, right? No. The whole reason for continuing and pushing MLG was because they thought it was going to be a much heavier spectator-friendly sport. When you have 11 or 12 out of the top 16 teams that people wish to see and want to see on the stream could potentially be all knocked out before we even get to the major parts of the stream, that's a problem. Because when you showcase matches on the MLG stream of Butter McNuckles versus Team Rainbow Trout, you are going to get 0 stream views. Nobody's going to show up. They want to see Optic. They want to see Fariko. They want to see Fear. They want to see Envy. They want to see all of the top teams. But when those teams are not going to be on stream because they're stuck in open bracket playing on split screen and potentially knocked out before they even get a chance to play on the stream, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. But it's such a hard topic because now we've kind of crossed to a point of what do we do? We're just supposed to allow all these top teams to just say fuck it and just let them play? No, we can't do that either, because there's a lot of great amateur teams making their way through the scene. So we have to do it in a way that fits everybody. So how do we take online qualifiers with an LAN event and seed them properly? Well, Nadeshot did a stream earlier this evening talking about it, and he got nothing but hate. He thought because his team was in the open bracket that he was just making excuses and just hating for the sake of hating. And that's not the case. It's really not. You have to look at it from what I just basically said. If the top teams are not on the stream, MLG is not going to see the numbers that they want to see. We're not going to get a continuized event, or they're not going to be as happy from an investor standpoint when they're not getting the views they want because the right teams are not on the stream. It's just how it is. So what do? Nadeshot brought up a good point. Why wasn't there a ladder to kind of take away some of the randomness, and then take the seeding points from the ladder into an online qualifier, and it makes it a lot less random? Best of fives would have helped a lot. Best of fives would have been much, much better. Delayed streaming would have been much better. Hindsight is 2020. Obviously, we can look back and we could say, hey, these were all big mistakes that we made. But we have to progress forward and not make them again. And that's my point. So I don't want to get into a big tangent or a big rant saying, this whole thing's a bunch of schmangled baloney. We'll leave it at that. You guys can leave your comments in the section down below. Let me know what you think should have been done. What do you think we should do going forward? And if you have any ideas or suggestions, by all means, give them to us, and we'll try to make that happen. So, anyways, this is the OCC Daily News and Talk Show every evening here on the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Holiday Doc, and I'm out.